now have more details about the serious allegations of abuse against a Catholic cult that Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett happens to be part of. Now, the founder of the People of Praise was described as exerting almost total control over one of the group's female members in a sworn affidavit in the 1990s. The Guardian has now reported on the details of that affidavit, and I want to share them with you. Now, the court documents also described alleged instances of a sexualized atmosphere in the home of the founder of this group, Kevin Ranaghan, and his wife, Dorothy Ranaghan. Cynthia Carnick stated in these documents that she had witnessed Dorothy Ranaghan tie the arms and legs of two of the Ranaghans' daughters, who were 3 and 5 at the time the incidents were allegedly witnessed, to their crib with a necktie. She also said that the Ranaghans allegedly practiced sexual displays in front of their children and other adults, such as Dorothy Ranaghan lying with her clothes on and rocking on top of Kevin Ranaghan in their TV room. Now, again, this was all part of a 1993 court proceeding in which Cynthia Carnick had stated that she didn't want her children to have visitation with her ex-husband because he was part of this religious cult and she was concerned about their safety. Now, Carnick also described inappropriate instances or incidents involving the couple and the Ranaghan children. The matter was actually eventually settled out of court between the two parties, but there have been others who have corroborated similar accounts or those accounts and have detailed similar accounts. So in an affidavit that supported Cynthia Carnick's written statement, Colette Humphrey said that she had lived with Kevin and Dorothy Ranaghan from 1973 to 1978 when she was a member of the People of Praise, and confirmed that she had witnessed incidents of inappropriate sexual expression. She said this: when I was part of the People of Praise, I was in full life submission to Kevin Ranaghan, under full obedience to him, and he expected his authority over, exercised his authority over most areas of my life. For example, we were in common financially, which meant that I had to hand over my paycheck to Kevin Ranaghan, and he would decide on how that paycheck would be used. Kevin Ranaghan controlled my dating relationships, deciding who and when I should date. Now, there was a third woman as well named Susan Reynolds who also shared abusive accounts herself. But the reason why we're giving you these details is because understand that, again, Justice Amy Coney Barrett is very much part of this Catholic cult known as People of Praise, and she actually worked and she lived with the Ranaghans while she was in college for about 2 years.
Guys, there's tons of disturbing allegations. I want to give you more of them, and I want to give you their defense as well, of course. Let me go to graphic 6. Members of the People of Praise have entered a covenant commitment, they say, to live together and are expected to share portions of their income and regularly attend hours-long private prayer meetings, which can include exorcisms and speaking in tongues. Now, wait, did Barrett ever do that? Well, let's go to graphic 5. Barrett, 50, lived with Dorothy and Kevin Ranaghan in their 9-bedroom South Bend, Indiana home while she attended law school, and according to public records. The justice, who was then known as Amy Coney, graduated from Notre Dame in law school in '97, and 2 years later married her husband, Jesse Barrett, who also appears to have lived in the Ranaghan household. So she believes in these covenants, and that at that point, Kevin Ranaghan makes all of the decisions for her. Later, her husband makes all the decisions for her. So is she consulting him for the Supreme Court decisions? I mean, look, it's gone. She's on the court. This isn't about like, oh, this is a political hatchet job or anything like that. So this is just a conversation about what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Like, so nobody was allowed to ask about her religion, but why not? It's definitely a cult. Here, let me give you more disturbing elements so you begin to get a sense of it. Let's go to graphic 8. In June 2021, 4 victims of alleged sexual or physical abuse in the People of Praise published an open letter in the South Bend Tribune calling for reforms within the faith group. The suggested reforms included public acknowledgement that there had been, quote, a systemic failure to protect the People of Praise children from abuse publicly naming of all individuals who have been, quote, credibly accused of abuse or concealing abuse within people of praise or at schools, and placing an equal number of women in their highest leadership positions in the group and giving them an equal vote in all the group's decisions. So there's two different elements here. One is the abuse and the other is the rules overall. Women cannot be part of leadership. So Amy Coney Barrett is part of a group that says a woman is just not capable of leading. Yet she's on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, what's up with that?
And no one even asked her about that? The group, of course, is very against gay rights. And then there's the issue of abuse, including the allegations that Ranaghan showered with his kids who were like 10 and 11 years old. Okay, so that's super weird, let alone that there's a number of people saying definitely child abuse going on here. That's their allegations. So we're not allowed to ask about that? And so no one did. No one, Dianne Feinstein, when Coney Barrett was up for a lower position in the federal judiciary, once asked about her religion very, very generally. And what did the Republicans do?
They lost it.
They were like, how dare you? This is persecution. She didn't even get into any of the details and go, wait a minute. Is your husband making the decisions or are you making the decisions? Because it's not my cult, it's your cult that says the husband should make all the decisions.
And we know what the treatment would be if the nominee happened to believe in a different type of religion, maybe Muslim religion. If
100%.
If the nominee wasn't a pro-corporate contender for either the federal courts or the Supreme Court, we know what the treatment would be. Wouldn't matter how egregious the question would be in regard to that individual's faith, right?
Yeah, no, we have a right to know. So she's obviously has massively anti-gay views. That's going to affect her decisions, and in a sense, by stripping away the right to privacy in reversing Roe, which she signed on to apparently.
Yep.
She has begun to do that. She obviously has no respect for women's rights. She's willing to give away all of her rights to a rando that she lived with in Notre Dame, a weirdo cult leader who's accused of abusing children. So she has women's rights. She doesn't even necessarily think women have rights. That's unbelievable. She's on the Supreme Court. And not a single Democrat had the courage to ask her, hey, what's going on with your cult? What are your actual beliefs?
Oh, the Democrats are worried that Republicans might yell at them.
Yeah, oh my God. And then, oh my God.
Can't have that.
No, we're more religious than the right wing. We're more fundamentalist than the right wing, we promise. You losers. You think you're getting the Southern Baptist vote? You ain't getting it. You think you're getting the evangelical vote? You're not getting it. So just goddamn it, do your job. This is also, the people at the top are not any better than you. There's a bunch of wackos up there. The ship has sailed. There's nothing we could do about it. It's important for you to be informed now that we have all the information.